Celestial awakening, divine afternoon, and grand night to the beautiful divine mirage watching this video to divine reflection, divine messenger, and we are back with another mindful observation of what happened 2 days ago. And understand if you choose to, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. And this video, I just didn't want to waste too much of your time, but also I want you to remember this is a Gaga ball pit right here. That's the pit that in the story time, this is what correlates to just this teaching of what I observed. Excuse me, by the way. But if you choose to, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. Excuse me again, been drinking a lot of water. But on Monday, as soon as I went to go counsel for these kids, these children, I was going to just jump right into it, basically, because I don't want to waste your time. I just want to be able to help somebody understand my experience and how you're able to not only just embody what's actually being done upon the youth, but how you're able to be a better guide towards your siblings, your children, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your mom, your dad, whatever the case may be. Not only just that, even yourself. On Monday, I was already there. I was, a lot of times I go to work, I'll leave my house either 2 or 3 or 1 hour early because I like to go into nature, gather my thoughts, and then I like to be able to go and make videos for Instagram and TikTok because I post on TikTok first so that when the video is done, and the thing is too, my content creators, as soon as you post on TikTok, if you choose to, you can, that video will already be saved to your gallery if you have that option. Once you save it to, or once you post it on TikTok, then what I would do is it already be saved to my gallery. So let's say I make a 5-minute video for it today, which is basically Wednesday. So if I make that 5-minute video, post it on TikTok, once it's done, I'll wait for I'll say 10 seconds. And then once that happens in my phone, it'll show up in my gallery. Post that on YouTube, not YouTube, but Instagram, so that I don't have to sit here and make the same exact video. No, it already saves for me. Let's post it on Instagram. So I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, I'm editing as I'm already clocked in and all that. So because of that happening, now, the thing is, too, for me to clock out of this whole realm that I am basically just experiencing for the temporary period of time, I am always focusing on what actually matters for the life I see myself living in for having financial freedom. So no matter what, I will never give up on this stuff, even when I am doing something part-time. Because even though I'm working for another organization's, spell casting, you can't place me under that spell casting because, for one, it's not my final destination. I don't see myself being there for that long, but when I do, when I am working with these beings, I decide to pour energy into them because I can see in their eyes that they don't want to even be there for real. A lot of them are there full time, all day, every day. I can't relate to that because I choose when to come into there. Now, when I do, I make sure I give it my all. So now when it comes down to the character in my story named Amaya, she gets off the bus immediately. So I wave to the bus driver every single time. It's always a carbonated lady, by the way. It'd be an older woman or it'd be a woman who's, I want to say around her 30s or 40s, but now the older women, a lot of times, or her bus driver, Demaya's bus driver, they may be like 60, 70 something, but I always wave at them. So when she came out the bus, or she tried to, she dropped her water bottle, or this bottle that she got from the store. Now the thing is that I noticed was that killed her whole mood. So when she dropped her bottle, that's when I understood that her emotions got the best of her, and she decided to become bitter towards everybody else, blaming everybody else for saying, oh, you the one that caused me to drop my bottle. And I was just like, Demaya, let's not do that today. Let's go ahead and just chill. And then she was just upset the whole time just at the table because in the lobby, the children, they have this problem to where, or this, I'll say this agenda to where they're not supposed to be running around the lobby because you got people who are on the phone, you got people working out, that they had to go on the walkway. So you running around and playing, you're going to get in people's way, you may get hurt. And that's going to be a detriment upon us. So she has to be able to sit down. But that was frustrating her because she couldn't get these emotions out that, she dropped her bottle. Now, of course, I was there for her. I nurtured her and I just say, what's going on? Talk to me. But a lot of times, Demaya's mind has also been traumatized by what her past has, not to even put that out there, but just from what she told me when I told her, don't tell me your business, because she has a hard time not telling me her business. Like, she'll tell me her mom's business, her dad's business. I'd be like, Demaya, or her stepdad, whatever, but I'm like, Demaya, stop. And I'd be feeling, I know y'all understand what I'm saying, because I be feeling as if, like, you're not my child. I do care about you. I would take a bullet for you, but don't tell me your family's business because you're gossiping for one. Two, if I sit here, I know what I know and I allow you to to talk down on your mom and she's not even here to defend herself. What kind of man does that make me to hear this shit from an 11-year-old? I had to dead that shit immediately, like, stop. And then when I do, it's like I be feeling bad because a lot of times too, the coworkers, they can hear, so I try to make sure I keep it down because my discipline sounds like it hurts. It sounds like it's very hard. It's tough love, and people can't fathom that in this day and age anymore because they're soft. They soft enable themselves to be a victim. So when you correct that, when you stop letting people be a victim in your story, people get offended by that. Like, I give a shit. So when she did that, she just kept doing this little temper tantrum thing, like, you know, what I noticed too about Demaya, she does a lot of things for attention, so she'll flip a lot. I peep it too. Peripheral. If you play sports of any kind, you know peripheral vision, meaning that for one, if I'm playing basketball right now, actually, for example, so as I'm in this room right now, I can see this water bottle right over here. I can see this couch right over here, meaning that I can see it, even though I'm looking right into this camera right here, but I can still see my left side and my right side as well. So a lot of times I will see what they do just to see if they want trying to get my attention, because I noticed as well that they are attention depraved from beings that they are inspired by, because they won't do these things to their friends because their friends actually do the exact same thing. But what I noticed about them was a lot of times when we go up to the room, the Maya will do this thing to where she'll do stuff like that. And I'll be looking on purpose. I won't react because, of course, they want my reaction because that's how they laugh. That's how their day gets better. It's dopamine. So it's like that's how they smoke weed, basically, by me giving them reaction. So when I make a face like, yo, you good? They're like, Mr. Darius, that's not funny. But stop being, like, in my head, it's like, stop being weird. But I don't say anything because, for one, I enjoy observing a kid being a kid. Like, no matter what age you are, I will never tell a kid to stop doing things that you enjoy doing. But a lot of times, though, you got to chill and tone it down, because when people are eating, for example, you can't be flaring your arms and spazzing out when Miss C is not in the room, my other coworker as well. When she's not in the room, you can't just be acting good when she in there, but then whenever she leave, you want to start acting up, and then you start coming up to me asking me questions when you should be eating your snack. If you eat your snack, we can all go outside and go play. Yay! We want to all go play gaga ball, but you can't even eat your food because you're playing. And because you're playing, now it's like when I'm asking you, are you eating your food? You'll tell me, yeah, but then now you do something out of the ordinary. Now I got to discipline you. So we go upstairs. Now the children, they had this routine, or I have a routine as well. I always greet the kids. So I give them a handshake or they'll give me a hug. A lot of times, it's usually the girls, they'll give me the hugs first. And the thing is, I'm so tall, they hug my legs. So it's kind of like, that kind of does something to my solar awareness, because it's just like I think I'm getting taller. I don't know what the hell going on in my body, but I feel like I'm getting more giant, just more enlarged, just physically and mentally. So it's like I'm getting taller. And it's just like they're grabbing damn near my kneecap or my thigh. And it's just like, I just pat them on the back, just like, hey, how you doing? I shake their hand. A lot of them they're excited. And the thing is too, so when you walk into the establishment, we're going through the doors. Now, you go up one stair, it's like one flight of stair, 2, and then 3. So as I go up, I'm basically at the top, and I can look down and see who's coming in so I can check them in through the tablet. So it's like a tablet like this, but not actually an iPad, but a tablet from the workspace or whatever. I put them in, check them in, and all that. So as I'm down there, I look, a lot of them is like, Mr. Darius, guess what happened? Dude, we're in the lobby. Sorry. I'm like, dude, chill, relax. Now, a lot of girls, they'll always yell like, Mr. Darius, guess what I got? Chill. Now, of course, my other coworker, Miss C, who has over 20-something years in this experience, she's like, Darius, tell him to be quiet. What the fuck you mean tell me to tell him to be quiet? You tell him to be quiet. You right there. You mad at me because they want to get my attention because, they don't want your attention. And you are on the bus with them and you picked them up from school with another bus driver. And because they didn't give you the same exact attention or affection, you're upset because they scream my name and want my attention. So as they come up the stairs, a lot of them it's like 4 or 5 of them. They'll run up the stairs to get my attention. And a lot of times too, as a girl doesn't get a hug first, she'll get mad at the friend, and then now it's like I gotta put both of y'all, I gotta have a sit down and maybe put y'all on timeout because we don't fight. We don't fight over who gets to hug me first. Both y'all can just hug me or take one at a time. It doesn't matter. Because for one, you should be going to use the bathroom and washing your hands so you can get ready for snack. So why are we arguing over who can hug my thigh the best? Or who can hug my thigh first? And then when somebody bothers you in line, I noticed too a lot of times that when Demaya, she put the bottle down and then Bella slid or something like that. And she said, Mr. Darius, Bella made my cup broke. And me and Miss C was like, no, she didn't. Because your cup was already broken. So now you're lying on Bella. So Bella's welcome to the story as well. And for one, Bella's coming to me. She's 5 or 6 years old, 5 years old. But she's coming to me, Mr. Darius, I didn't break the bottle. Bella, I know you good. You good. Demaya, I seen you drop the bottle and you gonna lie on Bella and you claim to be friends with her? I say, Bella, you need to watch out who you calling your friend because for one, how you gonna lie on Bella and I watched you drop the bottle when I first seen you? And then Demaya looking at me like a deer in headlights like, oh yeah. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? And you lie? You got time. So now, I don't be playing with time, bro, because when you lie for no reason, that ticks me off. Because I used to do the exact same shit. And they do it to where it's bad. The thing is too, I observe them effortlessly. I'm like a hawk. A lot of times I miss some things. That's exactly why that day on Monday, 2 days ago, we had 2 other co-workers who were doing what all day, Divine? Oh yeah, the kids got their attention on Darius. Yeah, I can go ahead and chill for today. All right, y'all. I gotta go ahead and do some paperwork. So, I'll be right back and all that. What the fuck is going on? What is going on? So now I'm left with the scanning the room, making sure that everybody's doing what they gotta do, so that we can go outside and go play. All right. Now I got backtracked to what happened because that day right there was an emotional roller coaster. So I know in the room it was bad. It got bad to the point to where the line started with Demaya for sure. No, it's not in here. Now, after that, I know we went outside. So, no, the snacks. Oh, so actually, Josiah and Ian. So, Josiah and Ian, they are, y'all already know Josiah in the past and all that. But Josiah was doing pretty good that day, I want to say, because I think he said at school, if he was to do good, he would get a treat. And so he came to the establishment for after school, and he was like, Miss C, if I do good or whatever, I'm going to get a treat. And so he was acting on his best behavior. I was proud of him. But of course, these past 2 days, he was on one. And that's where I can't get with that whole bias, favoritism, because this child is 5 years old. And the thing is, too, Josiah's little. To me, they all look like they 2 foot tall, 3 foot tall. He's tiny. I'm talking about so tiny to where I do this to him, like, I can pick him up like this. And a lot of times I do when he act up. And the thing is, it's like I forgive him always because he just has that energy, that ball of energy that you want to protect. And I understand that he may seem problematic, but I love to learn from those problems. Does that sound crazy? It should, because I am crazy, because crazy is what crazy does. And I do take crazy for the AM when I wake up and when I go to bed. So now, when I learn from his chaotic energy, it helps me find that peace because it's like, what can I learn from you? That's all I see the opportunity as. Getting paid to see what these kids are doing. And I take that seriously because I can't sit. That's my thing. If I'm going to sit here and work and do something, I cannot be on my phone because for one, I want to make videos. If I can't make videos on the clock, I got to figure out for one, if y'all are calm and copacetic, I'm going to go and sit back, type in my notes, just like we have for today, type in my notes and just see, okay, what am I learning so that whenever I go and post this video, I can help somebody learn things key by key, do detail, certain things that happen, so certain traits that are going on so where the viewer will say, damn. And then as you watch my video in the background, you listen to it through your earphones, you watching your little ones or your siblings, your nephews, your nieces, you looking like, no, this is accurate. This nigga really, he on point with this shit because look at what they're doing right now. So then whenever I tell you my authentic discipline, that doesn't mean that you're just doing it to belittle them or embarrass them. No, but you have to set things right, because if you don't do it and you see your other two coworkers who have been here before you, if they not doing it, then who gonna fucking cause structure upon this chaotic order that's out of that's out of order? This chaotic energy that's out of order needs some structure and authority. So who gonna do it? How is somebody older than me who has more than 20 years of experience still not able to give structure and authority without yelling? Without yelling. Yelling will not get you to be heard. And that's what I heard before through my own intuition of observing Miss C yelling at them. It's bad when kids gotta wait for her to leave the room to tell me about her character or her personality through her characteristics. That's how I know, oh, this is fake energy the whole entire time. Because y'all pick and choose. Yeah, you like, because they pick and choose on what they want to do with who they want to do it with. Meaning that, for one, they choose to act good or themselves around me because I do the exact same thing. I barely even talk. They decide to ask me questions. They'll decide to do this and that with me. I may laugh with them. I'll discipline them, whatever. But they know what boundaries not to cross. Because when they say or do certain things, I do let them get away with some things. Because it's like, y'all like my brother and sisters. But just know, you can only get away with so much, because after a while, I'm going to say, hey, you got time. You got 5 minutes, or you're not playing the whole day. And for me, I don't mind you not playing the whole entire day till your parents come get you. I don't mind that, because for one, I don't really want y'all playing Roblox, because look at what y'all do. It got so bad in the game room that the kids who are of age, who are going to be in middle school, they can't even play on Roblox no more. They got to play games that I download on the tablets for them. That's how bad it got, because they were texting or sexting on Roblox with people they never met before. And I asked myself, and the thing is too, when that happened, because nobody checked the computer before. So when I look, because a kid asked me for something or some help on Roblox, can they spell something? I said, got you. I looked, I said, hold on. Who you texting? Who you texting? And then I forgot what girl it was. It was either Bella, Juniper, it was one of them. I said, hey, hold on. We got to stop this shit. Miss C, look at this. And so now, of course, Miss C gets that little demeanor. She's like, oh, well, maybe it's... No. Maybe it's nothing. No. Look at this shit. Who's talking like this? So she's like, okay, everybody shut it down real quick. Who's doing this? Nobody knows who is typing these sentences to an anonymous player on Roblox. You talking like you grown as fuck. Whoever this was, talking back and forth, talking about some, I want to do this to you. Can you bend me? Excuse me? Huh? What? How you know how to talk like that? What's going on in these households? I can't control what goes on in these households, but when these kids tell me their business, all I'm going to say is these kids know what BBLs are. These kids know what yacht is. For one, how do you know what a fat ass looks like? Well, of course you know what it looks like, but how do you know to correlate yacht with a fat ass? How do you know these terminologies at a young age? It's the games. It's the blue light spectrum on their phones, the Black Mirror. Their subconscious mind is going into these realms to where they feel as if when they go out. So, for example, with the Gaga ball now, as we're outside, Tiana, which is Tyler's sister, Tyler will basically be like the bully or Debo on the block. Now, what I realized too, Tyler and Tanner as well, and Dean. There are some new characters tiptoeing in these stories. Dean and Tanner, they're the submissive ones to Tyler's submissive dominance. Catch my drift. We're outside. We're playing Gaga ball. Now, understand, this day, it was at least, I want to say 10 to 12 kids, or around 15. 12 to 15, 10 to 12, or whatever. Now, Tyler got mad because the little 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all these year-olds, they wanted to play Gaga ball too. Because they were tired of going until, so for example, it's sectioned off. A lot of times, it'll be like maybe 6 or 7 kids in this Gaga ball pit. Maybe even less. Maybe 5, I'll say. 5 or 6. A lot of times, too, the kids, the shorter kids, the little babies, they're the ones who, they're not babies, but mentally they're babies. They're the ones who go play on the other side of this gate or whatever. So that's when the other coworker will go ahead and watch them. When all the kids are playing, now this is where the emotions start running. The thing is with Tyler, He's the type of person to where him and Demaya don't get along, because Demaya will do this thing to where she'll look at you, you catch her. Because here's what I noticed with myself: when they stare at me for too long and I peep them doing it, it makes me uncomfortable. Now, yes, I do get uncomfortable even in real life when people who are of age as well, because it's like, what the fuck are you looking at? Not only just that, if you're gonna look at me and not give me a stimulating conversation, don't look at me and don't ask me a dumbass question, and don't make up fake conversations or small talk. I don't care for small talk. I don't care for that casual. So, how's it going today? Where you live, or what do you do outside of work? Don't ask me dumbass questions like that, because you don't actually care for real. You can't even sit with your thoughts for real, and you're so concerned about my life and my silent demeanor that you had to be curious on what I do, because you just can't sit to not know what I'm doing mentally. You so worried about how I'm living, you focus on me and not eating your snack. Or better yet, doing your job. The phone's ringing and you're looking at me doing work on my phone. Excuse me. Talking about Mr. Darius, why are you working while you're working? Because when you're a boss, you always got to work even though you're not working. So are you really working for us? Obviously. And one of the boys even said to another boy, for one, Mr. Darius isn't doing it for the money, because if it was, he wouldn't be working here. Now, of course, what did he do? What did Tanner, and then on top of that, this was Tanner who said that. I remember this day vividly. When Tanner said that, Tanner does this thing to where the kids pick on him for it as well. Whenever he says something or does something, he immediately looks at me when somebody's talking to him, which to me is very odd, but whatever. When he does that, these two fraternal twins named Keon and Ilani, they will pick on him and say, why do you look at Mr. Darius whenever you're talking to somebody? And Tanner will say it's a habit. Now, of course, for me, I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it honest. I'd be like, for one, that's not a habit, Tanner. You just staring at me for I don't know what. But that's the problem. When they ask him that, he gets mad and says, it's a habit. I don't know why I do it. And they say, right. They start laughing together. And this shit be funny. But I'm like, hey, stop picking on him. I don't know why he do it either, but it is what it is, because truly, I don't know why. I actually don't want to know why, but it's a repetitive thing that happens every single day. And he'll say these things to where he's like wanting validation whenever he's thinking out loud. I appreciate it, because he knows that, I guess, my answers for their questions and what they do, they take into consideration. They actually see that, what? He knows what he's doing, what he's talking about. And they ask me things out of this world, and I don't hold my tongue. That's what they love about me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that with them, because when they ask me things, now of course I do hold some things back. So I'm not gonna sit here and use profanity in front of them. I ain't gonna talk about the birds and the bees with them, but I'm gonna tell them about. They ask me things about God or dimensions or realms or aliens or Jesus or Satan or devils or this and that, or influencers. I'm going to tell them what it is, but I won't tell them too much, because for one, I already know mentally your ego's a baby. If I told you this shit, you may even jump out the window and kill yourself. But outside, I noticed that Tanner and Tyler were going back and forth, because they do this thing called teaming in Gaga Ball. So of course you have this little softball, you can only hit it. Now, when you hit somebody from their waist down, they're out. Now, Tyler's the one who enforces these rules, because many kids don't know how to play. So when somebody gets Tyler out, what do you think he does? He will stay in the game, and he will think that I'm going to allow him to stay in the game. So I watch him. And I think it was one of the little kids who got him out. And he hates losing to losers, because for one, he feels as if he's dominant. So he's the one who, he tries to be smart, but when you catch him in a smart act that actually isn't smart, then it was like he'll get mad when you catch him not actually being smart, because it's like he wants to be there. He actually, to me, is smart and a genius, but he will use that to lie to get the upper hand in life, or the advantage, or to be more dominant. Not only just that, I had to be very watchful, because he also lied on a manager who doesn't even work at the establishment anymore. So his credibility is already flawed with the other coworkers as well. Also, he has this thing to want to touch other kids. So I have to watch out for him, because don't forget, kids can molest other kids. And if you think that it can't happen, you're the reason why it's happening silently in your household right now, or in your family right now. And on top of that, karma's a bitch. Because one time he had a black eye. It's getting better now. And I asked him immediately, because of course when things happen to these children, my children, I'll be asking him, what happened to your eye? He gonna say, oh, I got hit with a ball, etc., etc. I don't know if he really did for real, because he be doing some shit to where I see why you got a black eye, my nigga. No offense to him, because I still love my little nigga. He only 10 years old. I still love this little nigga. I love him. But dog, you gotta stop doing this shit. Because even today, I was just doing something, I was observing the kids or whatever, and then Tanner said, Mr. Darius, Tyler's over here saying some Ayo stuff. And of course, you know what Ayo means. So I'm looking like, why are you doing that? Now Tyler's lying on Tanner saying, I never did that. He's doing that. And then Tanner says, you're lying. So when people are doing that, that shows me that if you are doing undercover things to Tanner, for one, I tell Tanner, why the fuck are you sitting next to him? And Dean as well, because Dean is also kind of quiet, but Dean also will follow Tyler as well because they also look up to him, but not knowing that Tyler also is steering them the wrong way. But there's no wrong or right way, but Tyler will guide them into big, and they're the ones too, they play with like toys, for example, they watch anime, so they play Roblox, they play Fortnite. So they get what I understand, because I'm still in tune with anime and all that. I don't play Roblox and Fortnite, but I'm still in tune with anime because that's tied into the spiritual world. That's a whole different topic for a different day. But they understand that, and they still play with toys, which to me is kind of like, nigga, you big as hell playing with toys and shit. But it's cool though. It's whatever. But it's like he'll dominate kids. And a lot of times when I'm playing with a kid or whatever, I'm like, Tyler, bro, what are you doing? And he'll get mad at me for catching him. When he does that, he does this thing to where, from when you catch him in the act of what he's doing, he'll get embarrassed and he'll turn red. But then now in Gaga Ball, when he gets out by somebody younger than him, like Dean or Tanner or these little kids, I'll look at him. I'll be like, Tyler, you know you out, right? He'll be like, what? What do you mean I'm out? I'll be like, you know, and on me, what I do every time, because I know how he get. I used to be the exact same way. I'll sit there with the same exact calm, posed persona. I'll be like, we're not going back and forth today, bro. You know you out. I'm not going back and forth with you. And he'll just be like, what do you mean? How did I get out? How did I get out? How did I get out? I'll be like, first of all, who are you talking to like that? I'm just saying, how did I get out? I hit him out first. Now you're lying. You're done. Get out. But what? I didn't even do. Who are you yelling at? Go sit down. On Monday, I wasn't playing with him. I was like, go sit down, bro. Who are you yelling at? Go sit down somewhere. But I ain't nothing. I'm like, yeah, go sit down over there. On top of that, you're done for today. He thought I was playing with him. I was like, bro, you're done. So I'm tired of you lying, bro. You do this every single day. Now, on top of that, it got so bad to where the game stopped. I was like, don't stop the game. Because for when I don't yell, I don't raise my voice. But when I do, hold on, Mr. Derek. No, don't think like that. I hate to get into that mode. But when you are showing me this energy, I'm going to hold the same exact mirror up. So now who got the authority? Go sit your ass down somewhere, little nigga. You need your father in your life. And I am not your father. But all I know is, for one, if you were my child, I promise you, it's going to be a bad day for him. A bad day. And he knew that. Demaya. So Demaya and Tiana were doing, like, they were running or they were dodging the ball or something, playing. Next thing I know, Demaya did something to Tiana, and Tiana got hurt or whatever. But I know Demaya got out or something. I said, Demaya, you out. But I think somebody bothered her or something. So I was trying to get this video done on Monday, so I forgot some of the bits and pieces. But I know Demaya did something to where she was yelling too. But when she was yelling at these other kids, I was like, Demaya, who are you yelling at? Stop yelling at these little kids like that. And she's like, I'm just saying, Mr. Darius. I was like, for one, Demaya, you know you out. And if you keep yelling, you're not playing again. She's like, I know. I said, go sit down somewhere, because I don't know who you think you're yelling at. She's like, no one, I'm sorry. Go sit down. I'm not playing with you. Go. So now, after that, Dean. Because for one, they're all geniuses to me. And they know that I done planted so many seeds to where they molded these seeds and now they alchemize it and they watch me live out my life. For example, by this, so I'll stand right there. That's where I stand. So watch them in the pit. When they get out, I kid you not, I can be standing like this. I'll look right here or right here. I'll see little kids. For one, I am tall, so they want the shade. I get it. So they'll stand right next to me. And they'll sit here and have their hands by their side, or they'll have their hands like this, folded. I'll be like, why are you copying me? And they'll start laughing and be like, Mr. Darius, you were copying me. What are you talking about? I'm like, dude, you were copying me, bro. Go on, go somewhere. I want to be next to you, though. I'm like, but why do you want to be next to me? Why not? I don't know what to say to that. I can't go with, look at you smiling. Relax. I tell him, I don't know why you're next to me, but I can't go back and forth with you. If you want to be next to me, damn, but I like my space. So I'm getting used to that because I don't really see myself with how they view me. I'm just living my life in my mindset, just trying to help them observe their lifestyle. And I just want to go home and make videos. That's basically all I want to do. I want to live my life, stay out the way, get to the bag, attract the bag, protect my family, provide for them, and live my life. And go back home. That's all I want to do in life. I just want to make videos and go home and go to bed and then wake up and do it again. That's all I want to do. But when people are infatuated by not knowing what I'm doing, that's when it's like I can't really question their magnetism towards me. So Tiana also got in trouble as well, but Dean got out by a kid as well. I want to say either Josiah or this boy named Ian. But when he got hit in the leg or the foot, I watched him to see if he was going to lie. So he got hit. So somebody hit it accidentally, but he got out. I watched him. He kept playing, just like Tyler, who's sitting his ass down mad, taking a nap and shit on the table, talking about some, yeah, go to bed. So Dean ended up getting out, but he's still playing. I said, Dean, you know you're out, right? How? Here we go with the how. So you know the rules to the game, right, Dean? Yeah. And now, the thing that they do as well, even on my AU team with the 17U, what they do is when they get caught in something, they'll be like, you're not confused. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying. You are out. How? What do you mean how? It hit your foot. How? You're out, Dean. There is no how. Get out the game. But how am I out? I didn't get out. You gonna sit here and lie to me? You got time. Because for one, you're literally lying to me in my face. And then on top of that, what they do is too, they'll get mad, they'll get an attitude and start crying. Like I'm in the wrong. I watched you lie to me. I watched you get out. I'm looking dead at your ass. Get out. But I'm the one that needs to get out of your life and out of your face so you can ignore me? But wait a minute. We want to play that game on that PC. Mr. Darius. No! Did you forget what happened 2 hours or an hour ago? Now you want to be buddy? Go sit your ass down somewhere. You'll play tomorrow. I don't play these. Like, I'm not going to. How you going to sit here and get an attitude with me? Talk back to me when you're talking back to an adult. You definitely not playing on my watch. But of course, Miss C, you know, the 20 years experience. They're just kids, Mr. Darius. Don't mind them. They do it to me too. I ain't going to say that word. But they ain't going to bitch me though. That's all I'm going to say. Like, no, you're not playing. I don't care. So after that, Tiana and Demaya had a problem as well. There's a table that you can't see on this side, but the table that's like over here somewhere by the building, somehow, some way, Demaya hit Tiana because Tiana got this little gooey stuff from her bottle and put it on her, and then Demaya hit her. So for one, Miss C not even there, so it's me and this other coworker named Isaiah or whatever. So Isaiah, he watching the kids or whatever, but he ain't doing shit. Like, you see, for when he's by them, I'm over here by the kids watching them, so, like, nothing happens to where, because the thing is, too, with Tyler was the one who's, also, I forgot to mention, too, with Keon, Ty was like, because him and Keon go back and forth every day, just with intelligence, and on top of that, favoritism, because Keon is infatuated by sitting by me, talking to me, just telling me things or asking me things to know my mind, and Tyler despises that, so he bullies Keon, and when I see that shit, I'd be like, hey, Tyler, you know you got time for that. You can't do that shit. Then he want to get mad at me for calling him out on it. No. So he was doing something to where I was getting a ball, and then Keon was pissing Tyler off to where Tyler ran up on him and was like pushing him and grabbing his shirt because he's looking down at him, and Keon looking at him like this, and they walking backwards. I'm like, are you going to bully Keon too? Go sit down. But he was provoking me. He was doing this and that. So I said, Keon, what did you do? Now, he told me what he did. But honestly, though, you can go have some time too because you're provoking him to do this for you. But Tyler, you can't put your hands on nobody and bully them like you the big dog and shit. Nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, boy, y'all both got time. Go sit down and think about what you got to think about. So on Monday, everybody just had time with me. Everybody had time. I wasn't playing. Now, when that happened, let's go and fast forward. Now, we go upstairs, we're eating and all that. So that's cool. Go to the game room. Dean had time, Tyler had time, Demai had time, Tiana had time, Josiah and Ian had time. It was like 6 people who had time. It got bad to the point to where Miss C had to come down to the game room to get the kids. And of course, Isaiah was in the chair, this gaming chair, just sitting there on his phone or whatever, but he wasn't really watching them. So the kids there was like, I want to say maybe 4 kids who were playing on the PC or whatever. And like the little kids, some of the little kids had the tablets, the laptops and all that. Now, a lot of kids who had time, they were asking, Mr. Darius, can I go play? So the ones who didn't play were Dean didn't play that day, Tyler didn't play that day, and Demai didn't play that day. Now, here's where it gets bad. The soft enabling. Josiah and Ian didn't have time to play at all. I get them time all day because, for one, you're not going to be sitting here smacking Ian's butt because Josiah's the one with the chaotic energy. And the thing is, too, with Josiah, what I learned about his intelligence, he will do something, and then when I catch him, he'll smile and he'll smirk because he knows that Miss C will condone it and believe him because, of course, he's adorable. He's little. He's a baby. He don't know no better. I watched him going under the stall before, and he's crying to me, saying, "Why'd I do that? Why'd I take him out of the stall?" There's another boy peeing in there, and you're asking him questions as you're looking under the stall watching him pee. What? So now, as that happens, you're kicking kids, you're hitting them, and then when they tell on you, you don't get in trouble for it, but they do. I can't sit there and watch that shit. That's crazy to me. That's mind-boggling. No, sir. I'm sitting there. They got time. Next thing you know, Miss C's, where her nails, she's like, why they got time? She was like, and I already knew. I was like, oh, here we go. Why they got time? You know why they got time. I tried to even call her and say, like, hey, we got a situation. What's going on? This and that. I need you down here. She was like, oh, okay, is it bad? Whatever. Like, what happened? I told her. She was like, okay, I'll talk to them when they get upstairs. We get upstairs. Ain't shit even being handled for real. So I said, okay, I'm going to handle it downstairs. So she said, so Juniper had to go, or Nyla had to go. This girl named Nyla, she had to go. Before she had to go, she made sure to delay Nyla's way home by asking me, why do Josiah and Ian and Tiana have time? I said, oh, because they were lying today. They were putting their hands on people, and they were going back and forth about doing things that aren't really appropriate. Now, she going to sit here and say, they're just babies. They do that to me all the time. And on top of that, I'm sitting down. She's standing up right here. And as I'm looking at her, I'm looking like, you gonna really sit here and tell me that dumbass bullshit about they do it to you all the time, and you gonna allow this shit? You gonna allow this shit? Really? And so she was like, just go ahead and give them a tablet because they don't know any better. There's kids. So let them have it. I'd be like, wow. The same things you constantly had to tell them every single day, you don't want to discipline them for that. But when I do it, you still want them to go ahead and play because she even asked me, how much time do they have? Is it 5 minutes like usual? No. They got time the whole day. The whole day? Oh, no. We got to give them a tablet now. Because in the system, on top of that, too, the organization doesn't want us to be too disciplined or punish the kids too harshly because people can get fired, lawsuits start coming up, this and that. That's the problem right there. As a parent, you can't sit here and say the staff does not know how to handle your children when you're the one that's not handling your children at the house. I shouldn't have to do their homework for them. You should be helping them with that. Now, I'm the bad guy? If your child is acting up, we're going to call you. I can't put my hands on your child. I can't do anything vulgar to your child. That's your job. But you mad at us for not disciplining your children? Now, when I do, it's a problem. When I don't do it, it's a problem. Okay. Now we're here today. Now, the things that I noticed as well, leadership isn't about authority because it's always been about energetic companionship. I stepped into a gap left by others' laziness, and it's not just out of responsibility, but because my spiritual frequency required order. I didn't want to lead, but my higher self knew that the children needed structure. A lot of times, I don't mind leading myself, honestly. I don't want to lead I hate telling people what to do. Cause it's like, you should just know what the fuck to do, especially if you're gonna work for me. Like, know what to do, bro. I hate having to micromanage somebody 24/7. It's like, bro, I don't like that shit, because I would hate for somebody to do it to me. I want to be my own person and lead myself. But these kids need leadership. So, and structure. This was showing me how, as a divine being, I'm not doing any of this for recognition, but to prevent chaos from becoming normalized within these kids. Now, things as well. The one thing that I had to put down was prevent chaos. Now, I got to contradict that as well. Excuse me. Preventing chaos is still going to be chaotic, because it's not going to be peaceful for me to only keep them on a certain balance that's going to always be imbalanced through their mindset. That's exactly why I let them be kids. But I got to treat them like adults when it comes down to discipline, because in the real world, if you keep doing these, I say childish in the manner of, it's allowed. To me, I feel like you can do childish things, and you should do childish things, because I wouldn't want to take your childhood from you. Like Miss C, she despises when they do this and that, and like she'll nitpick what they do, but it's like they're kids. But now when they do grown things, where they hit people, touch on people, start doing actual things to them, that's when I notice it. I'll be like, hey, you got time the whole day, and we're gonna call your mom. No, don't call my mom. No, we're calling your mother. We're calling your mother. But I notice that I can't prevent this chaos, but I do my best to guide that chaotic energy. So I noticed as well, even just with Dean and Demaya and Tyler even having that time, they realized that their actions were going to cause them to sit out. To where Tyler even told me today or yesterday, he said, I'm going to do my best to not crash out. You know, that's his way of wanting to apologize for acknowledging what happened on Monday. But yet and still, yesterday, which was Tuesday, whatever, he was still going crazy. He was still catching the attitude because he was getting out. I had to tell him, like, bro, go sit your ass down today. Like, nobody has time for your attitude, and you lying on coworkers who don't even work here anymore. So it's like, you don't have any credibility in this organization anyways. You have to gain that back. How can I trust you when you lie over the smallest shit? I don't know what's the truth or a lie. I truly don't. So you can't get mad at me when you lie over small shit, and then get mad when I catch you in the truth that you hide behind. That's insane to me. 2, children are reflections of unhealed environments and spiritual confusion. Demaya, the one who broke her bottle, showed how broken environments, home, emotions, beliefs leak into group dynamics outside of her household. Instead of her taking responsibility, she went and externalized blame and created dysfunction towards myself and the other kids all day. Spiritually, she was mirroring society and projecting her inner cracks onto others instead of healing herself from within. And now I don't expect her to heal herself from within, because that healing comes from the guardian. Now, if the guardian cannot heal, but she has to find healing through a payment transaction that's in the form of a man or a husband, then of course, how is the healing going to be healed if you're not going to be healing yourself without the perception of money or the consumption of money? If the trauma is still eating you alive and you run to Jesus for it, how will you be saved? Outside of Jesus's enlightenment. It doesn't work like that. You have to heal yourself away from Jesus, away from the church, away from the Bible, away from religion, away from God, away from your thought process. You have to go within to heal the child. That's when I realized that, for one, there is no accountability for her. She'll apologize here and there, but she'll do it again. Now, I realize that because, for one, the story that she told me, I'm going to just say in a nutshell, I'm not going to expose her story, no, because that, to me, she put her trust into that story to tell me, so I'm not even going to spill her secret. But I know that, for one, that little girl is traumatized in the worst way. And I despise niggas for doing that shit to these little girls out here, bro. That shit, it breaks my heart so bad, having to have a child trauma dump on me, to where I never even asked, but thank you for telling me. Because why? You are now helping me learn a lesson to guide other kids and teenagers and adults who are older than me, and to learning about my experience. My experience is the movie that you're watching every single day, because I'm actually out here living the experience of an observation. I make the most of my day. That's exactly why I can talk about anything every day if I chose to, because I make the creativity from my mind. If I didn't choose to, if I was lazy, I wouldn't make a video at all. But I choose to be lazy in my work ethic, because look at how much I've done. And I still don't wear my accolades, because what for? What am I doing it for? Nigga, fuck this materialistic world. It's for these children. Because I was one of them. If I was their age, I would want to have me in my life. I would want to have somebody who thought like me to guide me at that age. I never had that. But now they got that from me. I'm going to get them to that water, but I'll never make them drink that shit. That's always going to be my motive for to the day I am leaving this realm. I will never make you drink that water, but I'm going to guide you to what I'm still drinking. And you'll be like, what are you drinking? Truth. What's it taste like? It's transparent. You'll never know. All I'm going to say is, though, the way I think, just water guided me towards it. Want to drink? Oh, no. That's okay. If you don't choose to have it, I won't force you. But just know, I'm by this water. Do what you want with that information. Entitlement without accountability breeds spiritual immaturity. Kids like Dean and Tyler who manipulate or lie to avoid consequences are the representation of adults who always want freedom without discipline. How I disciplined them wasn't punishment because in divinity it was divine correction that was observed through my works. The ego hates going through consequences, but that's why my spirit craves structure. This is why the righteous child accepts being in timeout without complaining or causing trouble because they can reflect, while others continue to rebel against me. Now, the one who rebelled against me was Demaya. That's when I understood entitlement without accountability breeds spiritual immaturity. Because I realized that Demaya is still stuck in that phase of what she was traumatized in. That's why I always forgive her, but I got to correct her and give her structure like her father should have been doing or should be doing. Now, the thing is, too, Tyler, he would do this thing to where he tried to go to the gaming chair and say, oh, can I go ahead and play? No, you cannot. You got to sit down. That's cool with me. That don't faze me, nigga. Go and suck your teeth, catch an attitude, sit your ass right back down, nigga. Then Dean as well. Dean said, can I go ahead and play? No, you cannot. Okay. So he understood that he's reflecting. The whole entire day, he was able to watch the people play the game and all that, but he was calm the whole time. He didn't really complain and all that. When Tiana, Dean, and Ian were able to go play, which I still was bothered by because it's like, they did all of this today and you still gave them the game? Got it. But Dean didn't really rebel against me. He just said, okay, did his time for that day, and he didn't play for Monday, but he was able to play yesterday. So that's exactly why righteous children will be able to accept being in timeout because they know what they have done. They're reflecting on it. So for the next day, they do better now. And then when they rebel again, they'll realize like, oh, wait a minute. Before I do that reaction, I got to realize that if I do this, I can have timeout for it because it happened last time. So let me go ahead and control myself. Then for me, I say every time when I see somebody do something intelligent or something smarter than what they did yesterday, I say, you're learning. You're learning. High five, hug, fist bump. You're doing it. Good job. Keep going. That's how I encourage them. Then they'll be like, they know. They know. They understand what the fuck is going on, but adults don't actually get to learn these children because they don't care enough. I refuse. Unequal standards from adults create emotional dishonesty in children. Miss C, who will be enabling the kindergartners out of their negative behavior, shows how bias and her laziness while practicing leadership will trickle down into feeding delusion. When I had insight on this, I thought people are often more invested in maintaining comfort than holding truth. This is what creates spiritual stagnation and undermines authentic growth. Because, for one, if you are invested in maintaining more your comfort because you're lazy or you're tired, then you're not actually being truthful to these beings because you're feeding into their own delusions because you're allowing them to be delusional and their discipline that should be disciplined. But because their actions are not disciplined, you will rather sit there and let me do it than when I do it my way. It's not your way. So of course your way has to be the authoritative figure that these kids can look up to where now when they say, okay, Miss C's in the room, so now she'll knock my time down to 5 minutes. Got it. But if she's not in the room, you either got 5 minutes with me as well, or you got time the whole day. So now they can't wait for her to come into the room because now she will enable them to play the game at a certain amount of time. But if you out here doing things that a kid should not be doing, that adults do behind closed doors, and you're seeing that and you're copying it to these kids, I would not allow that shit. No, sir. No. So when I understand that, she wants to be comfortable by just getting money. She's not actually worried about bringing these children their truth to their awareness that's actually non-aware of their unawareness in its existence for today. Chaos is contagious when spiritual order isn't respected. When I correct one child while others are allowed to escape discipline, is sending a message to the kids that rules are flexible based on favoritism. Not only just that, this confusion will then spread and cause a virus to stick to the spirit's illusions in group settings, where no one knows the truth really matters to them. It's an accepted form of subconscious gaslighting. Meaning, and the thing is too, with gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation where someone deliberately tries to make another person question their sanity, memory, or reality. And things as well, to me, favoritism was Tiana, Ian, and Josiah getting that tablet and that laptop, because she was saying that Ian and Josiah always tell me no to not having time, but I get them time anyway and let them go ahead and play. You're gaslighting them, because you say one thing to a child and then you don't let them play the whole entire day. They're watching you do this stuff, so now when they do it to you because they're younger and more adorable, they will use that to their advantage because you go for it. Now, when a child watches you, they can't say anything to you because you're the adult, excuse me, and they want to get in trouble by their parents at home. So when they watch you do this stuff, they're watching you to see how you're acting towards them in this chaotic energy that is contagious. But yet, you're giving favoritism to beings who cause chaotic energy every single day and they're younger than me? Okay. Attention seeking is a symptom of spiritual disconnection. The Maya seeking attention even in timeout shows how deep her hunger for love and recognition acts when children and adults feel as if they are unseen at the solar awareness level. Most people will rather be punished and noticed than be healed and forgotten because they just want to feel something that is addictive again. She is an example of a society starving for real love but conditioned to seek noise instead. And that's the problem as well. I feel like she loves to hear herself sing or talk or just be annoying to somebody because she wants people to get in trouble, because she's usually always in trouble. And so when she notices that, she doesn't want to sit alone or be alone. A lot of times too, I be telling her, you can't treat people the way you do, because that's why a lot of times these girls be picking on you, because look at how you act towards yourself and other people as well. It's like you do sneaky things and like you say subliminal things to them and they understand that. So when they say, I want to be your friend, I don't want to talk to you, now you're wondering why nobody's sitting next to you, because look at what you're doing to yourself and other people as well. It's like you're wanting the attention and you want to hear yourself talk or sing or do whatever, but it's like you're starving for that noise that isn't really noisy and it's always silence upon your mind. But when your mind becomes silent, you can't sit with that. So you need some noise to make you feel whole again. Now, on top of that, when I give you that attention that you are looking for, yearning for, now it's like it's feeding you that love that you are trying to find within yourself, but you're looking for that love outside of yourself. Sweetheart, love yourself. You are beautiful. You are destined for greatness. If you ever see this video of Demaya in the future, it's Mr. Darius. You are, to me, one of the best children that we have there. To me, all of y'all are the best, but for you, you have to be able to forgive yourself for whatever happened to you. And you know what happened to you. I don't even gotta say it, but you know. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. Look at you every single day. Don't worry about what people are saying about you, because they're projecting who they are onto you. Never accept that. Be better than who you were at this age. When you become a grown woman, think about how you became. Think about all the love you lost for yourself, and now look at how long it took you to find that again, to find yourself again. It'll take some time for sure, but guess what? I won't give up on you right now at your age with 11 years old. I promise you I won't. Divine messengers are misunderstood because we impose uncomfortable truth. I never just babysit. I always observe, correct, enforce, and spiritually balance a room being held hostage by passivity and emotional projection. I am usually tested by being put through exhaustion, experiencing chaos and contradictions, and this is a part of my initiation into higher authority within celestial realms. Now, whenever I'm observing and bouncing the room as well, my emotions want to be able to, use profanity against them, yell at them, just do so much, but I control that by observing my reaction and state with my emotions, because my awareness has to keep me balanced so that these beings don't fall short into what I'm falling short in as well. When I control myself and lead myself emotionally through intelligence, they learn the exact same way because they can only follow and mimic what they look up to or what they're inspired by. Once I notice that, I have to set the example every day. I cannot slack just even a second because they're always watching. I can be sitting here just sitting back. Mr. Darius, why are you sitting back in the chair? Okay. I can be walking to throw something away. What are you throwing away, Mr. Darius? Nothing. I can be sitting here coloring. Can I give you a picture, Mr. Darius? Go ahead. So here's what I did last week. Okay. It's like my truth is so uncomfortable. They don't know how to describe that or articulate it, but they love it because it's just like when they do something dumb, the one thing I love and that makes me laugh, some of them, they have their moments. When they do something dumb, they'll come to me and say, Mr. Darius, I already know. I got time. I'm like, that makes me not want to give you time. Like, that makes me not want to give you time because you know, like, as soon as we go to the game room, I don't even gotta say nothing. They'll be like, Mr. Darius, I already know. I'm going to the table right now. I got time. Mr. Darius, I got 5 minutes of time too. What did you do? Oh, well, I'll remind you. Oh, you honest too? Okay, we're learning. I like that. I like that. But see, that's the problem though. When the other coworker can't do that, now it's a problem. I just gotta work with it. I mean, we're all gonna work with people that we don't like. Just don't work or just deal with it. You don't gotta deal with it, but correct it, communicate with it, and learn from it. Now, on that day, I was being spiritually entrusted with authority. So by holding Dean and Demai accountable all day, I was exercising to them how I perceive divine judgment. Not punishment from ego, which is a contradiction, but a higher discernment that most try hard to avoid. I was acting as a guardian of order and not the character that wants to be a people pleaser. This role causes me to elevate my frequency as I refine my leadership role into quantum observations. Because, of course, one of my other goals as well is to reach higher quantum enlightenment. The thing is, too, I'm already there. So there is no reaching when I'm already in that sight of this insightful observation. Like, I literally sit with the beings who govern this whole realm anyway. So, of course, where do you think my thoughts come from? And I don't even got to talk about these these sci-fi entitled or enlightening titles that people are able to learn about or whatever. It's just like, no, if I want to talk about higher shit, we can do that because I'm right there with the beings who know the exact same thing as well in those higher mirages because I'm sitting there right now watching you watch me right now. So when I learned that, that's when I understood that from one, me holding them accountable was just helping me understand that from one, I need you to know that I'm not here to watch you do something wrong and then we'll deem this wrong and then I'm going to allow it just because you're young. No. We have a rule to follow, and if you don't follow those rules, you get punished for that. And you're lucky it's not prison or the casket or getting your head sliced off. You're getting grace right now, but in the real world, people are not going for that. Miss C's silence wasn't accidental because that silence told me 2 things to expose. She subconsciously recognized my authority, which is why she didn't override my decision with Demai and Dean when it was towards the end of the day. She still plays favorites based on age and emotional bias, not through justice or truth. Letting Josiah, Ian, and Tiana play despite their actions for today meant that she was more interested in peacekeeping than seeing these beings go through solar awareness growth. This is a karmic trap many adults stay falling into because they are avoiding conflict by enabling dysfunction. And this trap right here is what the being had to have gone through birth, or not just birth, but her childhood. And I don't really know what happened or whatever, but I feel like that enabling is only passed down from what she learned from her bloodline as well. And by understanding that, I have to be able to just stop being a people pleaser because for one, I don't care how you feel for real. If they're dysfunctional, that has to get checked immediately because if it doesn't, when they get into middle school, high school, even when they turn 18, it's over with. It's done. Because people in the world, they're not going for that shit. They're not going for that. And we can change that now at a young age so that when they get older, they're already on point. They're already professional in their calculated steps. They know what they got to do, and not doing it for money as well, but doing it for the betterment of themselves. That's the way to go. So that really pissed me off, because it's like, bro, you're playing favorites because your emotions are tied into what you find justice in. But you can't find truth in a system that has no justice, because you're playing favorites to beings who are still doing chaotic shit day in and day out. But the beings who are actually doing chaotic shit can't even play because you don't like them for real. But the ones who are younger, who remind you of your kids or yourself, you let them play? What kind of shit is that? Fuck is we doing? I'm not just a counselor when I am being my own mirror that inspires them. My spiritual presence will be disrupting the emotional laziness of others. I'm just so excited, bro. Hold on. I never allow chaos to win. Instead of me just conforming to the adult standard of they are just kids, I put my chest out and raise the bar. It proves to the staff why I'm there in the first place, basically helping separate wheat from tares. I understand that on my teaching with Shannon Sharp and the Pope. The wheat and the tares, so like the tares are like your lab-grown inverted beings at birth, altered into the womb, and then their genders turn inside out. Their whole life is flipped upside down, and they are the ones who are chasing the fame, sacrificing to fame and glory, and being known as superstars or celebrities at a young age, and then being trafficked into these realms for occultic fraternities and sororities. The wheats are the ones who are authentically divine beings, conscious beings who can actually be there, but the ones who are just made biologically as a man or a woman and are made into the world to just be righteous and go right back home. We don't have time to be sitting here lusting after money and gold and jewelry, watches, car. We don't care for that shit, because why? It doesn't fucking exist anyways. It doesn't exist. You're playing GTA. Imagine craving pixels that you think you're touching, you think you're driving. We pay gas in a game that actually doesn't need money to have the gas come out of this station that we are stationed to put our energy in. Like, gas is not an actual real concept in spiritual realms, but only humanity thinks so. That's so ignorant to me. But of course, niggas will say, bro, you gotta be realistic, bro. It's that spiritual psychosis shit. I get the contradiction, bro, but it's like, in these higher realms that some people can never comprehend, we don't see gas as a price. You can't put a price on what you're observing your mind to be in through the element of the form of gasoline. The silence toward the Mayan Dean shows who always has spiritual accountability in the room. It's me and couldn't be Miss C, because she may hold a title, but I am the one that's carrying the spiritual responsibility. People in authority that don't correct things spiritually are just being placeholders because they can care less about playing the role of a protector. That's why she didn't challenge my decision with them. Her spirit knew I was right even when I'm wrong, because even her ego didn't know or didn't want to say it. So when she's seen them in the room not being able to play, when I say them, the Mayan Dean and Tyler as well. But when she's seen that, she couldn't challenge my decision with them, because for one, you know that they're older, they're about to be in middle school, so me disciplining them, you can't let them play the game, because they get in trouble constantly. And it's the fact that if you were to be doing that, giving them the game after what they did for that day on Monday, that just shows me that you are literally enabling beings to still cause the exact same actions that you know are a detriment to your bills, to your payments, to your checks, and this system, this organization, and themselves as well. On top of that, some of them don't even care about that, because if you're just getting paid to be sitting there while somebody else is basically governing these kids, then why would you stress over that? You just got basically paid for free. Not on my watch, bitch. You finna come to work and work, motherfucker. If I gotta work, which I don't want to do, but if I gotta do it, you gonna do it too, motherfucker. Because now when I don't do it, that's the problem I understood too. When I want to chill and do things for me, it's always hey, tell them to keep quiet, or hey, Darius, go and do this and that. Why the fuck do I gotta do this shit? Why can't somebody else go do it? Oh, I forgot. Expectations. And lastly, my actions send a subconscious signal to the children every single day. Even if they don't say it, the kids felt that the truth has a defender guarding and observing it in the room. The ones who were punished saw that I was fair, consistent, and I thought above manipulation. I am making sure to imprint order into the subconscious, even if this is met with resistance at this time of the year, which is bound to happen. Now, thing is too, every time I discipline them, I talk to them, and I ask them questions like, can you apologize, this and that. I help them understand that your actions do have consequences, so you can't just keep doing what you want to do, because if I let you do that, you may end up getting killed, and I can't watch that. I can't sit here and hear about that on social media or the news. I don't want to go for that. So I had to be able to stop you from reaching what's inevitable, which is the phase of death. But the thing is, though, if I can prolong that, I'm going to do my best to do that for you. But you got to be able to protect yourself and govern your own thoughts, because if you can't do that, I can't send a signal. I can, but I can't transmit that signal up close to you when you get older. When we like disperse our ways from this establishment, when I basically financially free by doing what I love, making videos, when that happens, I don't know where you're going to be in the future. You may still be in middle school, high school. Who knows when this will happen for me? But for you, when will you be able to save yourself from your past choices? Because they can haunt you if you're not being aware of what you're doing every single day. Meaning that by me just being calm and quiet every single day, watching them, guiding them, hey, even just playing with them, tickling them, receiving gifts from them, just laughing with them, talking with them, just asking them questions, learning their mind, just being able to play games with them. I'm showing them, like, no matter what, you always have a non-angelic guardian that's watching you. You may not know what it is or who it is or how you can define it as, but how they even consider me to be. They call me Mr. Dairy, Dairy, or Dairy Bear, or Dare Bear, whatever the hell. Don't say either. But they call me a lot of these names because that just shows their endearment for me. That's a great word. Okay, I was correct. Damn. Hey, I got a fact check. Y'all know me, but I hate lying to y'all. I hate lying to myself. If I know that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I'm gonna look that shit up. A word or phrase expressing love or affection. So yeah, they definitely show endearment towards me every single day, and I feel the love every single day. But I appreciate y'all for watching this video. I know it's over an hour. I didn't mean to make it that long, but I was really ready for this video just to send to somebody out there who's probably going to do something with their children or their young ones. But I apologize for talking fast. I was just very excited to get this video out. But life is great. If you're a child, if you're a young mind, just look at what you're doing for yourself. Do better. And it's okay. You're going to mess up. Learn from me, for example. All my story times, my experiences, I'm not going to hide who I am from you. Because if I did, then it's like that's a problem. But being authentic, being yourself, and then guiding yourself, your past self, because I'm doing it for my past self and my future self as well. Now, when you're able to observe me doing it in 3 different timelines, what are you doing for your timelines that we are literally still living in currently right now? All you have is this moment right now. So how better will you be doing for the betterment of your future self for today? Have a great and divine day, divine reflection.